Hey, and welcome to another week of the Clowncast. It's your boy Clown here. I got a little PC with me. I had to take 2 weeks off with Mother's Day, and then I had some technical issues, and then I had my birthday weekend last week. So we're gonna get back on track this week, and I figure what better one to talk about is the New Orleans Voodoo. We're gonna go back to the beginning, to the rise and fame and the downfall of the New Orleans Voodoo, because there was a lot of stuff mixed into that. But before we jump into that, I know y'all missed them, so we're gonna have to bring them back. I want to bring on my co-host, Uncle Leroy. You can't say Leroy without saying the Junior first.
Wow, what up, what up, what up, what up? Man,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, you know how it is when people fail. They gotta, whoa, what up, nephew? What up, nephew? You got so many excuses, man. You know what? The sky wasn't blue, the moon didn't come up, the sun didn't shine, my dog left, all these different excuses. But look, this your dude, Uncle Leroy. Don't say the Leroy without the Junior. And we back on this Sunday on the Clowncast, man. What's that, my guy?
Man, was getting through some busy weekends and stuff, and then I took that little birthday trip. I needed that little reset, get everything right going on. What I need to do with the shop and stuff. It's easy to get caught up in time, and days just start blending into each other after a while.
Bro, I understand that. That's how it's been lately over here. So just been like a blur. You got to just like, you know what I'm saying? Boop, boop, boop.
Right.
Put the windshield wipers on, man. But look, it's definitely good to be back. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to Mama Dean. She made me come pop into the studio, show my face. You know what I'm saying? So we see Bobby tapped in from YouTube, man. Shout out to my guy, man. He definitely supports everything. He says the show I've been waiting for is finally here. Yes, sir.
We got some gossip and inside scoop on this. Like, a lot of people know I wound up getting really cool with these players, and I was like literally hanging out at their apartments and stuff, man. And I learned a lot about the behind the scenes of what it is. A business. It's a sport. And I learned that the NFL is the same way. Like, it's so crazy to me how on one hand you have these players, and this is their dream. Like you're literally, you sacrificed your whole life, but then on this hand, this is a business to these guys, and a personal lifetime dream and somebody else's business, they don't really collide too good together. Like it don't mesh. They got two different outlooks on it.
So okay. So definitely for everyone that's be following you on Facebook, you posted a picture of you cooking eggs. Was that an omelet? I think it was like at a player's house.
Yeah, that was fun. That was actually for my birthday. LJ Castile. I was actually working out with him and some of the other players, and it was my birthday day, and he invited me over, and they made me some breakfast before we went and hit the gym and stuff. I was pretty I was actually cool with these dudes.
Wait, time out. So you, the super fan, got invited to a player's house who made breakfast for you?
Yeah, it was our star wide receiver,
bro.
It was the one-handed bandit, Castile. That dude, he was good for 5 touchdowns. Dude, so much potential, man. But like, mental health is real, man. Like, and that. I'm not really gonna call out no players and stuff, like that's their livelihood and stuff like that. But some of them guys, like they really were like excellent, skilled, but the mental health plays into it. And when he went,
okay, all right, hold on, all right. So let's clear the record. Let's clear the smoke, because at the end of the day, just like with AB, everyone's like, oh, he got mental health and all this other stuff, but the dude got bread. So what do you like when you say mental health? Like, can you explain from your perspective? Because to me, it's like, just like someone who's unhealthy that has insurance. To me, I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? These guys has the means, the resources to go and take care of that. So it's like, what kind of mental health issues you can have when you have money and opportunity?
Okay, well, you got to think, for one, AFL players don't have money. They don't get paid nowhere near what NFL players get paid. Like, your veteran quarterbacks, don't quote me on this. It's been a while, but I want to say, like, your veteran players got like $225 a game. I like a lot of them dudes was getting like $175 a game if you played. Like you could be on the team and not get paid. You got to actually play the game.
Wait. I can't let you run past that, bro. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
but
Shout out to my guy, Coach Lee. Said that's what's up, super fan. Super fan star. Yeah, he get called over. They make breakfast for him.
Bruh, I was working out with them guys, but see.
But wait, no. That was past tense. We talking about this $225 per game.
I want to say $275
for veterans.
If you was like an elite player. Like if Tom Brady played in the AFL, he would be getting like a Tom Brady equivalent would be getting $275. And like some of them it would work out. Like some of them guys got their apartments paid for. Some of them they paid for half of their apartment. Like it really all depends on how good you was as to how good it was. And with the AFL, you're not allowed to pay these people on the side. Like you get paid what your contract is. You're not supposed to, hey, I'll give you $5,000 if you come play for us, which a lot of teams was doing on the slick. But you wasn't supposed to do that. That's how most of your teams wind up getting stacked and stuff, because they would make them side deals. So
shout out to Bob. He said that's what he just said. He said AFL players are broke and usually work other jobs. So I can
some of them used to work for me at the donut shop.
Wow.
Everybody they got families to feed too, man. Like basically, the AFL was the last chance opportunity for them to live out their dream. Like about 6 players from the AFL wound up going into the NFL, so it was a second chance for a lot of these guys. But they still had to make ends meet and stuff. Like a lot of them still came from out of state or out of like in Louisiana, but not from New Orleans and all. So like they still had to get down here, still trying to provide for families. And like one of the glitches with the AFL is, so like, and I watched it happen with Castile. I watched it happen with a bunch of people, man. If you get hurt, they're not necessarily gonna put you on injured reserve, because once they put you on injured reserve, they got to pay for you. But so you would just be inactive, like that. Like you're a healthy inactive.
Boy, when they say these girls ain't loyal, these teams ain't either, man. That's wow.
Right, and so with you being inactive instead of on injured reserve, well, now they ain't got to pay you because you just didn't play that week. So like it was a struggle for a lot of these guys, but that part of it was kind of where the downfall of the whole league came into it, is because you got to think about it. Arena football, it's not like the NFL. It's not like no other league. It's only half the size of the field, and we don't have an out of bounds. Like there's a wall. Like, and that wall is in play. So you literally are getting slammed into this wall like fucking at least 10 times a day if you're on offense. And now I'm gonna ask you to do that for $175 if you are able to get on that field. Like that discourages a lot of them people, because
all right. So shout out to Bob. He says right here, he says, imagine putting your life on the line for a dream and making what is it, 11K or less.
That's facts.
But I mean, bro, like it's your dream. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm involved in an XFL Arena League, and honestly, I didn't even know that they weren't making that much. And it's crazy because shout out to the Frisco Fighters. We have someone that's from New Orleans, and it's crazy. When you made your post today about the show and the Voodoo Nation, someone reached out. And, in similar situation, it was like they wanted to, like they had aspirations to go to the league, but they couldn't make it. They played for Prairie View, HBCU football team. So it's like they're trying, like he just said, he's putting his life on the line for a dream, like you just said, so he's chasing his dream. So to me, if you're chasing a dream, should the journey or the chase be profitable, or should the dream itself be profitable?
And there's the problem with the AFL. So not to out no players or nothing, but I see as a super fan and hanging out with these guys as a human, I understand their argument. Like they feel like they should be paid. This is a professional sport league. You want me to play for your team, you should pay me for it. as a owner and a businessman of the league, this is your last chance at playing your dream. You did not make it into the NFL. You don't have NFL scouts looking at you. You don't have NFL coaches calling you. This is your last chance of a dream. This is what we're paying if you want to do it. So I 100% understand both sides. And that's a problem they always going to have because AFL is never going to have NFL money. They don't have the TV rights. They don't have the commercials. They don't have the advertising network. And like they don't, and they used to. And this is why, well, before I jump into that part, because now we're getting into a whole nother section, we're going to go backwards and talk about when it was good. Okay. So the New Orleans Voodoo popped up around 2004. At that time, a lot of the NFL owners owned those AFL teams. So like Benson owned the New Orleans Saints and he had the New Orleans Voodoo. Like George Jarkowski owned, like it was a lot of big names. Jerry Jones owned one. A lot of big money. So they had the money to back these leagues.
Okay.
There was never no money into it, though. That was the problem. That's why they all originally folded because, yeah, granted, like the New Orleans Voodoo, we had the number one attendance. We had the number one attendance. Like we was putting 16,000 people in the arena and stuff. But the catch of it was, for one, you had Tom Benson's name back in that. You had a waiting list out of this world to get on for the Saints season tickets. Well, it was a gimmick to where like, okay, you own Saints season tickets. So they would call you and be like, look, Mr. Benson owns the New Orleans Voodoo. If you'll buy New Orleans Voodoo tickets, let's say you number 5,000 on the list. Well, I'll move you up to number 2,500. And those people bought those tickets because they wanted better Saints season tickets. Traveling with the team, I got to meet a lot of other owners and stuff and was kind of trying to figure out how they were able to put all the fans in the seats and stuff. And man, like a lot of it was special needs. Like they would give those tickets away to like schools, special needs schools. Like they did a lot of handicapped.
Wait, so you saying that the New Orleans Voodoo attendance was a gimmick?
All of them, all the arena football leagues. Wow. Every one of them. Every one of them. If you see it on TV and it's packed, I'm gonna get shit for this. I'm gonna get messages for this, I guarantee. But if you see an arena football game and that stadium is packed, you better believe there's a gimmick behind it. Like I was there, I witnessed it. I had other owners telling me how to do it to go back to our coaches to try to get it. Because the whole thing is, man, I'm gonna give you this ticket that we only charge and say $10, $15 for. But you're going to come in there, you're going to buy revenue, you're going to buy drinks, you're going to buy sports memorabilia. Your kids are going to have a damn good time because it's such in-your-face football. You're going to come back next week, and that's a potential season ticket buyer. But why am I going to buy season tickets when you're giving me the damn tickets? Like, I'm not going to waste that money. So and I know they sold me 1,000 and something tickets for $1. Like I paid like $1 a piece for them, and I went and gave them out at the French Quarter Fest. Because we was trying
That's insane.
Dude, because we was trying. Well, at that time, we had the Benson was remodeling the arena, so we actually got moved to the Superdome. That place is too big to be playing arena football. So we was trying to get people to go into that Superdome just to make it like you could have packed it for an arena football game, and that bitch still looked empty. Like, I mean, it's the Superdome. That bitch is big.
Facts. So shout out to Bob. He says you're not making money on attendance ever. You make money on with sponsorships and merch, etc.
Exactly. If you got people in the stands and you can make it look like it's packed, well, now you got sponsors' interest and stuff. So they don't know the details of why these people are in there. They just know you putting between 10 and 16,000 people inside that arena. You know, you can't, just like with the news today, you can't believe everything you see on TV. Like if you notice, what is it called? The USFL. You look at those teams right now, they don't never show the crowd. There ain't nothing but maybe 13 people in there. It's always close on the field.
Man, you know, you're absolutely right. Because I was watching the New Orleans Breakers before I came into the studio today.
How the hell you got the New Orleans Breakers?
They were playing Michigan, and it was empty.
Yep. And dude, that's 90% of these places, man. Like Even the NFL goes through it. Like, granted, they can have a small crowd and it still looks packed in that because of the brand of the NFL. Like the NFL itself has fans outside just the team. These minor professional leagues don't. Like, you right now, you talk about what was that? Saints made people buy tickets to the Pelicans. Yeah, same thing. It's the same. It's a gimmick for them. It's a way for them to help sell their tickets.
So hold on. So shout out to Rick. He's tapped in from YouTube. He says Saints made people buy season tickets to the Pelicans to have access to buy Saints season football tickets.
Exactly. It's the same thing. It's the same gimmick. It's like, if you buy these, I can give you better deal on these, because they know.
You said that before. That they used to do that, like, because you said the waiting list for the Saints season tickets used to be. You know what?
That's a whole other thing.
How the hell the Saints had a waiting list for freaking season tickets?
NFL. The NFL has a brand that people want, and we are one of the lucky states to have an NFL team. That just in its own. Dude, you don't even realize how many people go to the football game and don't know shit about football. It's just, I'm going to a Saints game. Like, that right there is an experience. The game don't really matter. It's the experience of it.
That makes sense. And it's funny, I was talking about that today, just like in another round for us, like with the Madden brand. It's like, you know what? The NFL wants you to conform to it, because Madden is the only game right now that's not that's just getting over that's cross-platform. To where it doesn't matter if you're on PlayStation or Xbox, you can play. So
they're losing money.
That makes sense.
Everything in it is a business, man. And I wanted to go back and touch on it right quick, because you had mentioned about the mental health thing. This is something that I watched one of the guys actually go through. He was a good friend of mine, man. Castile. I talk about him. He knows about it, so I'm comfortable with speaking it. But you got to think about, okay, imagine this being your life dream, all right? And then now, granted, hey, life happens. You get caught up in trouble and shit. Hey, I've done it myself. It cost you. All right, you made a bad decision. So now you get a second chance to go play your dream. And in the minor league, you were the man. Like, we called him the one-handed bandit. But now when the NFL calls, you get that shot at your dream, and you can't catch on to that playbook. It's a whole different game over there. Like, same thing with the Canada League. Good friend of both of ours, Delvin Bro. He was able to make that transition and excel at it. Some people can't. So imagine spending your whole, and it's no excuse or nothing, but I understand as a human it takes toll. Imagine going your whole life by training yourself, preparing for this, and then when you get the shot, you don't make it. Like, that'll take a toll on your mind, bro. Like you spent 20-something years preparing for this just to be told you're not good enough anymore. Like, that shit's gonna take toll. Like, it don't matter who you are. Like, now,
I can't relate. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a winner. You know what I'm saying? But I can empathize.
right. Hey, dude, it happens, bro. Because in reality, you only got so much time to make it. Like the NFL playing football, that is not a lifelong career, so to say. Like right. You only have a short time to make it. I mean, you could be 24, 25 years old, and you're considered fucking almost old in the league.
Right, exactly. Depending on which position you're playing, like especially at the running back position, that takes a lot of high volume, reps and a lot of hits. So yeah, that's really old at that position. So I mean, that makes sense.
Right. And that you start piling all that on and realizing now you hang around these sports people, too, man, like these dudes work out every day, like every day, all day long is training for this. And so now you just found out. But at the same time, you can be the fault of your own demise, because why am I sitting back at the hotel, at the apartments, fucking smoking weed with some of these dudes? We partying and shit before the game. So, like, you got to take control of your own destiny at the same time.
Wait. Hold on. Wait. Yeah. I just can't let you run past that like that. So, all right. So, you just said, rewind, play.
Yeah. Look.
All right, so you just said that you was smoking weed with these so-called with these players, these said
Some of
players.
them. Some of them. See, same thing. Arena football is not like the NFL. Like they didn't drug test. You get drug tested if you get hurt.
That sounds
Not
like a
again.
job at the warehouse.
Right, exactly. It's pretty. It's, like I said, it's a business, dude. At the end of the day, like they look for a lot of local players, so they don't have to pay for the travel to move you here. You already live in Louisiana, so if you can live at your own house or at a family member's house, they ain't got to pay for your apartment.
That makes sense.
And seeing when we had Benson, we was able to afford all that stuff. Like Benson was able to pay. What? Oh. Benson was able to like pay some of these people a little bit of money. He had the Saints backing him and stuff. But then over time, them dudes realized the money was never going to come in like the Saints. It was never going to be like the Saints. And all your big time owners bailed out of it. Jerry Jones sold his team. Benson folded his team because they couldn't get the TV rights and everything. And dude, and let me tell you, that sucked, dude. Like those games were the best. Like we had a packed house every time. Like the tailgating was unbelievable.
Wait, you said a packed house, but I mean, what is it like? Only 20 people showing up?
No, but when Benson had it, we had about 16,000 people in them games. But like I said,
hey, Mama Dean in the building. I talked to you. I spoke you up in the beginning. Yeah, I told you. It's because of you I'm out here now.
She said Uncle Larry. She ain't ever gonna get it right.
That's the baby though. Yeah, check in the beginning. I gave you a shout out. That's why I came on camera, because of you, Mama Dean. You tapped in. Appreciate you.
Right. But yeah, when Benson was there, like they had the Saints to bargain with them. You know, like I said, you buy these, we give you these. That's where we got our ticket. It was something for the family to go do because it was a very see, look, Bobby will tell you, like when the NFL guys owned it and the actual people with money owned the teams, it was fun, dude. Like you couldn't beat it. The tailgatings outside, it was so much football in your face. Like if you catch a football out of bounds, you get to keep that football. Nobody came and hounded you for it. Hell, you catch a football player in your lap because, like I said, it wasn't nothing but a wall. So you go over that wall, and there wasn't nothing to it.
Bro, like I had that happen to me. Like it was my first time experiencing Arena League football at the Frisco Fighters, and the damn player got tackled over the wall, and it was right there. Like, oh shit, you know what I'm saying? It is great. It's like kind of like living in the hood. It's like okay, sitting outside, you might get a straight bullet at you. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You gotta be on your toes.
Yeah, exactly, bro. And a lot of them guys, like, they get hurt doing that. Jason, I can't put. Oh, that don't go on that part.
Shout out to Bob. He says, "Wait, what? That is crazy, bro. That's beating some XFL attendance numbers." So shout out to Bobby from YouTube. He says average Voodoo averaged 15,420 attendance in 2004 season.
Yep, and like I said, when you got
hold on, you got a Bob J. Bop. Mama D said, shut up. Oh no, that's Josh. You're talking about you. Bop.
But that you got name recognition. You got Tom Benson, New Orleans Saints, NFL. You got back then with the New Orleans Voodoo, you got 3 top brand name recognitions backing them. So it's easy to get the attention. Just like now, one thing I learned this a long time ago too, and you could testify to this. Winning brings fans. You can't have a sorry ass team and expect to have a packed house.
I know this last name.
My girl, Team 20. I talk about my friend Cam that passed away. I got his jersey. That's his mom and sister.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. I know that's what I'm saying. I recognize that last name. That's a jersey in your shop, right?
Yep.
Oh man, look in the building. Love and blessings. Man. Appreciate you tapping in. Yep. So April McGlynn says, "Hey, Pope Clown, sending love from the McGlyns. Yes, in Dallas, North Carolina. Wait,
That's
there's
where
only
my
one
boy
Dallas, baby. I was with you on
La
that,
la
man. You know,
la la.
we love you. You know what I'm saying? It's Dallas, Texas.
I love. That's where my brother was from, man. North Carolina. May he rest in
Wow.
peace, man. Is a good dude. Cam came on after what?
I thought that was the baby on my Lego.
Okay. He wound up coming to play on after. So 2000, I want to say it was like 2008, somewhere's around there. I could be wrong on my dates. The NFL owners actually pulled out of it because there was no money into it. And when that happened, the whole league wound up folding. Like once the money men got out of it, it just you can't really. It ain't like the Canadian League. You can't have a league with just 4 teams in it. Like it wasn't gonna work back then. 2013. That's when the New Orleans Voodoo came back. I want to say we came back 2000. They opened the New Orleans Voodoo back up in 2011, and then in 2012 the team came back. But before we get into the downfall of the Voodoo, we're gonna take a short commercial break from our sponsors and let them get a word in, and we'll be right back.
Hey, what's going on, man? It's cornerback Delvin Breaux here from your favorite team, New Orleans Saints. I just want to go ahead on and give a shout out to STWF Media for allowing me to come on and talk about my testimony, my story, and also talk fantasy football. I just want to say thank you, man, for the honor. I appreciate you, man. Y'all make sure y'all tune in tonight at 7:30 Central Time. Bro Show out.
Boy, welcome back. Oh, I love Delvin, man. Delvin's a good friend of mine. I love that dude. I'll never forget the day I met Delvin. It was at the Voodoo the media day. He signed with the Voodoo. He had played for a team called the Vipers, and they're like under the Voodoo. And then Delvin was our star player that they brought on that was coming in. And I actually met him. I used to make these voodoo dolls I used to give out to the kids and stuff. And I made one for him, man. I went and introduced myself. Man, that dude became tight, like right there from the beginning. And I'll never forget that dude played one game, bro. Because he came off that major neck injury and stuff. It was right in front of me, bro. Like you can ask him next time you talk to him, bro. We were like, I was sitting in the seat front row. The play happened right there. Like he took a hit, and he was defense, and he hit that guy and took a hit at the same time. Damn. And then he got up. They threw a flag on him. He got up and he's pointing at me. He's like, "Tell him, Pope. Tell him, Pope." Like these referees are gonna listen to me of all people out here.
Hey, man, you do got some influence.
Dude, but then that was it. Like he took that hit and he got up, he was good to go. Boom, CFL called, man, and he wound up going to the Canada League and took it over. He's like one of the best defensive players out there and stuff, bro. Like,
fact.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's opportunities in this, and then he wound up going from there to the NFL. So it's a second chance, for some of these guys to actually make it and stuff. And he wound up going in the NFL and being good until he got hurt and stuff. And
do you think I'm gonna ask you this. So do you think it should be profitable? These teams giving these players a second chance at their dream. Do you think they should be making at least, let's say, a couple $100,000 a year?
Don't put me on that spot. I'm gonna be honest with you. If the league itself was more serious about itself, I would say yes. Like if you would treat yourself more like the NFL, and I hate to say it because it's not the NFL, but the discipline of your players. Like, you're not going to come to practice when you want. You're going to come to practice when we have practice. Like, there's a lot of that going on with it. No, you're not. And I hate to dog on myself, but you're not going to hang out with super fans smoking weed and shit before the games. Like, there's a conduct, and these NFL guys, there's conduct rules in this thing. If they took it more serious like that, and for what you're asking of these guys, I do agree they should be paid. Now, should they be millionaires and 100,000aires and nothing like that. Nah, it's like you said, it's a second chance at a job, but for the sacrifices you have to make, like a lot of these guys, they not in school anymore. Like you need a job. I do believe they should be paid something. They should be able to survive on it. That I do feel that. Like it should be just like an NFL. It should be under a contract. You're getting this much for this much. It don't matter. Nah, you can't pull off fucking I'm a play when I want to play. You know, like you got to play. But
right.
I do feel it should be under a contract, and those contracts should be honored. Like nobody's gonna go to work and give they all for $100, bro. Especially if I got the chance of breaking my neck, because you have a better chance of getting injured in the AFL than you got than in the NFL, because that wall is vicious, bro. And
yeah, you know what? Like honestly, when I went to started getting involved in the Arena League out here in Dallas, it felt like it was a hybrid of football and WWE. You know what I'm saying? Because these dudes getting like they're getting suplexed off the top rope into like it's a regular day for a guy to get flipped over the wall.
Exactly.
So he can, that's definitely potential
and that's
back injury, and so many other injuries.
So, that's what I'm saying. That's more chance of a more frequent injury, because you flipping over that wall like it ain't none.
Right, hitting that hard concrete. So shout out to Bobby. He says, I think they should break even at best. This isn't something like I would try to own, but someone who needs to write off and just has some money to waste. I think he's talking about the league, just an owner.
Well, yeah, we about to get into that. So the league wound up coming back. So they had a team out in Shreveport, Boise City, the Battle Wings. And that was owned by a guy named Dan Newman. He wound up, they had no attendance. It wasn't working out there. So he actually bought the rights to the New Orleans Voodoo. And all he did was move the Boise City Battle Wings down and rebranded it to the New Orleans Voodoo. And that's minor league baseball. Players don't make. Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. It's a minor league. Needs a wrestling show. we get one going. We get Brian in on that.
Facts.
But so in 2011, the team the name came back. They activated everything. And then in 2012, it was announced Dan Newman had wound up buying the New Orleans Voodoo. He was going to bring him back. When I met the dude, like you could just tell, man, he's just he's just one of them guys, bro. Like we knew we was going to be doing from the get-go. And so the problem with the Voodoo, the problem with the AFL is exactly like Bobby said. You need somebody like Benson that has money that they can waste. Like, because it's just like with any right. But now hang on, because I gotta give Dan Newman some credit. I ain't gonna lie. Now, don't get me wrong. The dude was a shitty owner. He was a shitty owner. But the dude actually did do some good. Like in the beginning, let me say, in the beginning, his heart was in the right place. Like he actually wanted this to love.
Hey, look, I hear what you're saying, John. But Bobby is on his neck, man. Look, Bobby, he said, look, first Bobby said, y'all about to make me cuss talking about Newman. Then he comes back and says, you ever met scum? Then there's scum, then Newman. Bro.
Because when it went to the end, like when they knew that they was gonna wind up, it got bad, bro. It got bad. They messed over the fans. They messed over the players. They messed like everybody. Dan Newman made a lot of enemies in New Orleans, and I honestly believe he was sold on a product that actually was not there. Like he was talked into moving the New Orleans Voodoo down here on statistic and stats of when Benson owned it. But you ain't got Benson money. Like Dan Newman's rich, but he ain't Benson rich. So you don't have that money to. It's gonna cost you $1 million on the low end a year to run a team.
Damn.
Like, and that's on the low end of it. So he had the right intentions. He was bringing in good players, but the problem is, like a lot of these players we was bringing in, like Skylar Green, man, this dude's an actual gang member and stuff down here. Like anybody in New Orleans knows this dude, knows who he is. Like,
Right. When you said that name, it rung bells too. So
right.
shout
Like everybody
out
knows
to
this
April.
dude.
She says it was horrible. They did the
Yeah.
fans and the players dirty.
Dude, like
Wow.
it came down to where they wasn't paying for the apartments. Like a lot of the players actually got kicked out. They made a lot of sponsorships, like and I was working for Sweet Things at the time, and they were one of the ones that was a victim of it. They would do trade-offs, like wanting sponsorships and all, and so they would take everybody's money, but they weren't giving back what they were supposed to. So like there's give and trade in that. Like I'm gonna give you this money, but I'm a sponsor. I'm supposed to have players over here doing like media cast and meet the fans. We're supposed to have you're gonna we're gonna sell you this, like, so they had it set up for the players like where they can go eat at, and it was set up, they get it at a real discounted price, but it would just be kind of tallied, and the owner would get that bill. He never paid none of those bills, so now all of a sudden our players can't even eat. Can you imagine going to a game, coming home, and you locked out of your apartment? Now they got to go run and find you another place to live because you literally are out on the street. Like a lot of that shit would go on. The players would get hurt. Well, like I said, and now instead of putting you on injury reserve, now you living in an apartment, you not playing, so you're not getting a check, but they still want you to pay for that apartment you're gonna live in. How? Like I'm injured to where I actually can't work. Like I can't even go get a second job. I got my leg in a cast, but you don't want to put me on injury reserve. Or they'll make it look like, kind of like with Delvin and the Saints, like you have a major injury, it's not that bad. And especially if it's towards the end of the season, well, they're going to let you wait till the season's over with. Well, now you did that in the off season. That's not on us. You was fine to play. Like it's a lot of that backdoor shady shit. And when you start doing shit like that, you are never going to get a top skilled player to come play for you because they already know they're not going to be taken care of.
Right.
So like that's why when you got George Arkowski, he owns the Soul. That's why star players go to teams like that because they're going to take care of you. They got the money to be able to take care of you. And then I can't think of the dude's name, man. I was just thinking of it. Donovan Morgan. Donovan Morgan's one of the top players, one of the elites in the league, man. And we had him, and the dude would not play, bro. Kaiser was another one, man. He's a top defensive pack in the league. He got traded to the Voodoo and would not play for Dan Newman. Mike Allstott was another one, would not play for this guy. To this day, they'll tell you that if the league started back up, they would not play for this man because of the dirty shit that he did to these guys. Like, that right there,
that's freaking insane, bro.
Your team is doomed when your own players will not play for you. Like, we can go out there and you got Castile, you got Wimper, dude, 5-6 touchdowns just on their own without the rest of the team. Like, that right there can win a game. And then you can go from that to where you're getting your ass kicked every week because the players aren't going to play. Like, they're going to go out there and they're going to take that field because they're going to collect their money, but they're not going to risk it for this dude to get famous and make money off of them when he's not taking care of them.
I mean, so, we're hearing some of the woes and some of the breakdowns of the, of the Arena League and, the Voodoo team itself. But all right, so shout out to right here. We got Bobby. I want to take his comment. He says, I appreciate the players for staying and entertaining us. It was an honor to get to know them and watch them.
Exactly. Because to the players, man, it wasn't the business side of it. Like they actually, in the beginning, they actually wanted it. Like, they were excited. Everybody was excited. The Voodoo was back. We had a good name. We had the best looking logo in the league. Like, it's New Orleans. Everybody likes coming to New Orleans. Like we had a lot of stuff going for, and these guys was excited to play for us and stuff. And then once they started meeting like us, the fans, because anytime they would go somewhere, we'd have a crowd. We call ourselves the Voodoo Nation. We would all show up out there. So like anywhere as they went, but then they're the downfall of their own demise, because now when they get a little taste of that, and when you got your NFL players doing that same thing, but they're getting paid endorsements to go show up at these places, these guys want to start getting paid.
I mean, that's how it always happens. If you bring a donkey around racehorses, the donkey won't be a racehorse. You know what I'm saying? Like you bring that just happens. So
right.
And it's like they always want more than what they are, something that they really can't reach. So like with you, what made you really want to become a super fan?
So
because like I've been around, I met a lot of super fans, and a lot of them, I've got a lot of different responses on that. You know what I'm saying? Just from the XFL Renegades, from the Frisco Fighter, from a lot of teams that we cover. And these super fans got different reasons. So what made you want to be a super fan of the New Orleans Voodoo?
The fans. Like straight up the fans. So I originally got my tickets from my parents. My parents bought season tickets. It was something for all of us to go do. And I went to my very first game, and I painted my face, because the name of the arena, we called it, is the team was the New Orleans Voodoo, and the arena was called the Graveyard. So I put some like lizard contacts in my eyes and kind of painted my face up a little bit. And when I went in there and saw the atmosphere, and like saw they had like some medicine men dressed up and all, and like saw these people dressed up, I'm like, and me being extra like I already am, I was like, oh, we got to step this up. So I originally already had my Pope Clown mask. He wasn't Pope Clown yet. I had the mask, but it had deer horns hanging out of it. And I knew I wouldn't be able to get into the arena with the deer horns, because I had a problem. Like I had like deer horns coming out and like out the head and shit. And I had a real problem, like when people would want to take a picture, when I get close, like the deer horns would stab us and shit. Well, that's when I thought of the buffalo horns. And I made the mask just to be extra and go to the game. And I made it. I went to the game, and it was a hit. Like everybody wanted to take pictures. They kept putting me on the big screen. They kept showing me on the TV and shit. And I love attention, so it just grew. It just grew. And then it came to a point where the fans was actually looking for me during the games. Like I was a part of the entertainment that night. Like you didn't go to the Voodoo game unless you got a picture with Pope Clown. It kind of seemed like. And dude, I was actually dating the girl Ashley at that time. I mentioned her before. Like she even wound up getting her own persona. Like everybody called her the assistant, because like they knew if it came down to like business wise or like needing to talk to me, go to her, because I'm drunk, fucked up, running around this arena. I was never actually in my seat. Like, dude, I used to start waves in that bitch, bro. Like I literally had no limits inside that arena. Like nobody would tell me shit, dude. I'd be walking around with Crown Royal in my hand, bro. Next thing I know, I'm by the locker room, bro. Nobody ever stopped me, bro. They wait, oh, what's going on, Pope? Don't even know where I'm at, bro. I'm trying to find the game. Where am I at? Like, he was such a sweet little But the owners, that's where I met my mentor in life, Jason Koffel, man. Like, me and him wanted to talk, because I used to argue with him a lot when the Voodoo came back. He
wait. We got the weirdo alerts. They said we would used to talk to you, Josh, at the games.
I would always take, dude. I know I would take fucking hundreds of pictures every game, like. And then if I was late to the game, I'd start getting text messages and stuff, man. Look, see that.
Shout out to April. She said there was no voodoo without Pope Clown.
Like if I was late to the games, like some of the head people in the office, you coming this week? You here? Because they needed me to hype up them fans just as much as the team, you know? Like I actually became a part of it. So then I become an unofficial mascot, because I'd go to the games, and some of the games I would get on company expense. Some of the games I actually made Pope Clown t-shirts, and I would sell those, and then those shirts paid for my travel. Well, when that happened, the Saints super fans started getting on my ass because I was selling merchandise, but I wasn't donating it to charity. I was like, bitch, I am a charity. Like, I need the money to go to these games. Like, what are you talking about? Like, mind your business. Like, this shit ain't cheap. I ain't got money like y'all. Like, back then, I didn't have no money. Like, shit. So, and that kind of where my friction, I don't really fuck with none of the Saints super fan. A couple of them I'm friends with, but I don't really fuck with them dudes too much because of that shit.
Y'all heard it here today. You know what? We're going to have a Saints super fan versus Voodoo wrestling match or something. You know what I mean? Like, I don't fuck with the super fans. The Saints super. Yeah. Like, not one? You called out the whole Saints super fan.
Nah, well, no. Yeah, kind of.
That's some badass Pope Clown shit.
Because it's like groups, like birds of a feather flock together, you know, like.
So she already know. Look, you're like, bitch, I am a charity.
I'm saying, like, I'm telling you. So I did stuff like that to be able to afford to go to these games and stuff. And then that's really where Pope Clown started taking off, because now I'm all over TV and big screens at other arenas and shit. And then these people, like their big money sponsors and stuff, they would want to come see me and have me take pictures with their kids. And then they would take me out to their bars and stuff that night. And I'd be just like this, dude. Like, I'd never take my mask off. I'm in these bars. These people would spoil me, bro. Like,
see, that's how stuff gets started. So Bobby says my money on Josh.
I know. Then you got
you back, homie.
They're gonna want these big ass fucking Saints super fans come after me. Hey, but I tell you what I did do.
They taking it back to the 90s.
Yeah. But you can ask him. Bobby can testify to this. Like, for years, to this day, the challenge is still out there. I want to wrestle the New Orleans Pelicans king cake baby for charity. Like, I would whip that thing's ass. Like, it's so creepy looking, bro. Like, for real. And I've been tagging them on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Like, I want to make that happen. I even had some professional wrestlers come after me on Twitter, talking shit. Like I was willing to wrestle that dude for charity during the halftime show.
That's like, crazy.
If you're gonna talk all this shit about me and you don't even know me, but you're gonna talk this shit about me, I was like, come to, I rescue you in my mask. Like, we can do this. And then that's going to bring in more fans. It's going to help my team stay, and I can keep being Pope Clown.
Hey, there it is. Mama D said it. Pope Clown t-shirts, Pope Clown for President t-shirts.
Bye. I made 250 Pope Clown t-shirts, but I made 50 of them. I signed and numbered them. Those sold in the first 10 minutes. I made a total of 250 on my very first batch and sold them bitches the first day. Yeah.
Damn.
But the problem is I was on drugs back then, and I could, like, I always think about it when I met the guy Neil Anderson. I talked about him back in the day. Love.
Mama Pope.
I always think about if I'd have had my head right back then, like, because that dude was telling me back then about YouTube and don't worry about TV. He kept telling me, start a YouTube channel. YouTube's going to blow up. And, like, it didn't make no sense to me back then. And now I see where everything's at. I'm like, fuck, should have listened to that dude.
Hey, well, you're starting it up now. You know what I'm saying? It says you're never too late to be what you could have been. So Shout out to Diane. She says, I agree with you, Miss Charlene.
All right, there you go.
Oh, I'm about to say, wait, we got some surprise on the Pope Clowncast. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, that's popcorn.
Yeah, he had to bring his popcorn today.
Yeah.
He needs a snack. It takes too long for him. He wants a snack.
That's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? He pull up with his to-go bag.
Yeah. But like some of them were saying, man, towards the end, it got real bad. Like, they got kicked out of one apartment complex, and I cannot remember this coach's name, dude. Bobby might be able to help me with it, man. His wife's name was Billy. He's in the NFL now. I cannot remember this coach. It was our head coach. Not Stingley. He was before Stingley. See, when we had Coach Sting, man, his son in the NFL, he's gonna be he's like damn good D-back, man. He plays for the Texans. He was our head coach. Derek was a good guy. I love him. Good friend of mine. he was given the tools to make it work, but at the same time, you can give me the best tools to make it work, but if you're gonna keep me handcuffed, man, there's no way I'm gonna do it. You gotta let me do what I know how to do instead of telling me how to do it. Like,
Right.
does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, and that's one of the problems he felt with him. But with the other coach, man, I cannot remember this guy's name. So we got kicked out. Well, they got kicked out of their apartment complex. They wound up putting them in this other one, man. Dude, and this place was shady, bro. Like, I remember the head coach. They had a guy living in these apartments. And the guy put a note. Yeah, it's going there, bro. The guy put a note on the head coach's door. And he's like, whenever you're ready to play, my door's unlocked at 1 a.m. Just come in. How the fuck you want your players to feel so coach? No, he wound up going to I want to say he went to the Texans for a while as their coach, not Kinko. That dude, fuck him too, bro. Like that is one coach I did not like. I'm not gonna lie. Like, this motherfucker came, like, you came in your church shoes. Like, don't come to football in your church shoes, bro. Like, you got to be ready to play. I didn't like Kinkos at all.
Coconos?
Yeah, I call them Kinkos. I didn't like that dude. Like, he talked a good game, but like none of the players respected him. Nobody liked his attitude. Like, fuck him. That dude, like, nah. I want to say his name was Matt something, Matt, some shit like that. But they, like, the dudes, like, they was literally a pervert living in the apartment complex trying to fuck the coach. Now, how you want the coach to keep his team in line when he's fighting off fucking perverts and shit? And he wound up leaving. He actually went to the NFL and became a quarterback. Yeah, there it is, O'Hara. That's it. He wound up going into the NFL.
Like, there it is.
Because, dude, it was like right there, and I couldn't think of who it was. Yeah. I was actually good friends with him and his wife, and then, man, I tell you that. So one day, yeah,
they're coming out the woodworks now. Porto
Pat, that was it. I said Matt. It was Pat. I was cool. Like me, him, his old ladies, like, we all got cool. But then I got fucked up one day. It's totally my fault. So being that I hung out with these players, I got a lot of inside scoop. And they were telling me how Pat never stood up to the players. Pat couldn't get the players to like, but at the same time, you really shouldn't. I'm the head coach. You play on my team. But a lot of these guys was thugs and had attitude and everything. And like, so they would be aggressive towards the coach, and the coach never disciplined them because he needed them to play that week. He's trying to get wins. At the end of the day, it's all about wins and losses.
Right.
So he put up with a lot of shit just to keep that game together. Well, I got all these players telling me this shit, and dude, we got annihilated one game, bro. And I was pissed, and I went home and took it out on Facebook and blasted this dude, bro. Like, you can't control your team, blah blah. Boom, all of them deleted me the next day. Ain't his wife. None of the family ever talked to me again after that. It was like, hey, but I wasn't lying on nothing I said. And then that's when the players came to me and it was like, look, Pope, you need to understand, you're not just a normal fan. You know, you hanging out with us, you can't really repeat what we say. And it's like, yeah, my bad, dude. I got fucked up that night. Like, I was mad. Like, we lost. We got annihilated. Like, what? Chalk it up to the game. Dude, I used to go to the practices with a megaphone, bro. Like, and they be like, Pope, don't call my name. Don't drop that fucking ball. Like, that's why I brought my megaphone. I did everything I personally could to try to help keep that team together without literally, like, spending my own money, because it's not my team. I'm just a fan. But I did, like, when the players got hurt, man, I would help them find jobs. I had some of these dudes sleep at my house. Like I did what I could. But at the same time, and I'll say it a million times, man, like, you could be the downfall of your own demise, because here you are given this opportunity, and at the same time, I feel like if you hanging out getting fucked up with me, you're not taking advantage of your opportunity. And, hey, for the state of mind and who I was back then, I'm hanging out with the fucking team. Like, hey, it's your fault you ain't showing up for practice. I ain't got nothing. Don't blame me, you know?
So use the peer pressure that the high schools taught, like the middle schools taught you about. Like, stand up against peer pressure.
Yeah. Yeah. But no.
Like, look, hey, if y'all with me, man, look, you fucked up, not me.
Right. Yeah. Because like it ain't like I would like hit them up and be like, hey, what you doing today? Skip practice. Let's go get fucked up. Them bitches would hit me up. Hey, Pope, what you doing today? I was like, oh, well, that's fucking coming over. Like, and then for the company I was working with, I had the connection to the strip club. So we in the strip clubs and shit.
Hey,
Yeah,
I like
right?
how Mama D wrote. She's like, you got fucked up. No way. Exactly.
Nah,
Like, who'd have
right?
thought it? Get out of here.
On the way to the games and shit, about to go hang out with all these people. Dude, it was good times. Like I got cool with the voodoo dolls. Like the voodoo dolls used to have, that was the dance team. They'd have slumber parties. And that's bless
Hey man,
bless
shout out
my
to the
heart.
voodoo doll. Like I'm gonna tell you, no cap. Like I remember being, when the voodoo came and I was in New Orleans. Like it used to be the Saints cheerleaders.
Yeah.
They couldn't even wave a stick at the New Orleans voodoo. Them girls were
That
hot.
voodoo was
Like
some
the
fine pieces of work.
mascots were cooler and everything. Like the voodoo really like galvanized the city at one point.
The branding of it, dude. Nobody, like, we had it. Like, even with our old jerseys, we have the snakes on it. Dan Newman's wife got rid of that shit because she don't like snakes. It's like you can't come in here and start changing shit like that.
Right. Wait, it's clear they can't be from New Orleans. So what?
They from Shreveport.
Oh, hell,
Shreveport,
that's East Texas, man.
Right. Yeah, and like they started changing little things like that, man. And fans are gonna resist that. Like nobody likes change. Like leave it alone. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And that's
Like, leave it alone.
This dude is just tearing up popcorn on this thing.
Hey nephew.
But like with Ashley, man, like she bless her heart the shit that she had to put up with. Like imagine you sitting there, you watching TV, and then all of a sudden your boyfriend gets a text message, and it's the dance team having a slumber party. They're sending you a group selfie and shit. Like she put up with a lot of shit with all that. It's like she earned that assistant label shit.
Hey,
But
shout out to Coach Lee. He said voodoo was balling and the Saints suck. Yeah, that is true. And,
dude.
And it's been rumblings that the New Orleans voodoo is going to come back. So I'm like, okay, does this mean the Saints is going to suck again? I mean, we've already got a crappy ass quarterback in Derek Carr, who is David Carr, one of these cars. Dude, I got my car repossessed looking at it. You know what I'm saying? So we might as well bring back the voodoo.
Dude, there's talks about it. I have some reliable sources that like it is supposed to happen. We're gonna see. I've heard it before. I like the things that I am hearing. I like the names that I'm hearing. We're gonna see. It's been announced that they will be back. Nobody can say the names behind it yet. We're gonna see though. It's come 2024. We're supposed to have the New Orleans Voodoo back. They still trying to find out where they're gonna play at because it does. One of the problems we did have with the Voodoo is the NBA. The Pelicans play out of the arena, and they play a lot more games than the Saints do. Man, they play home a lot more. And then once you get into the playoff times, well, now it's hard to start refiguring schedules that they wind up having to play at home and stuff. Like all that monster truck, like a lot of that, because during the Saints off season, there's a lot of stuff going on in the arena. You got monster jams, you got concerts. It's hard to work all that stuff out. I know back in the day they were talking about doing an inflatable arena. Out by the Pontchartrain Center. I'm not exactly sure how that. All I can think about is like everybody sitting inside of a bounce house. I don't know. Like I don't know what an inflatable arena looks like, but I know they was talking about that back in the 2012, 2013 years. So they ain't no telling. They could play a tag-only stadium, but it's a stadium. It's not an arena. Like that's the part. It's got to be an arena. It's got to have a closed top to it, which I wouldn't mind bringing it outside. Like let me tell you. I've went to Saints games my whole life. I started traveling. And I went to a Tampa game, and it was outside. Dude, just the whole feeling and atmosphere of it's better. I wouldn't mind ripping the roof off of some of these arena games. Shit, why not? It'd definitely be different. And plus, who don't like playing football in the rain and shit, you know? But that pretty much sums up our voodoo, man.
But before we get up out of here, it's like, definitely want to ask, like I asked, so a lot of super fans, they be super fans of multiple teams, like, XFL Renegades. He's a super fan of them. He's also of the Denver Broncos, and I asked, some super fans, it's like, hey, you know what? Why are you the number one super fan? It was like, hey, you know what? Because I help with attendance, ticket sales. I do everything to promote the team. So before we wrap this up, you know what I'm saying? Like, what made you, we see that the fans loved you, the players loved you, you got to hang out, but what did you, Pope Clown, bring to the New Orleans Voodoo that maybe the fans didn't know about? Or how do you want to be remembered with, your stardom with the Voodoo?
I brought the razzle dazzle to that motherfucker. Let me tell you. Hey, I'm just saying.
You are watching a master at work.
That's what it was. Like, I've been through it, man. Like, we needed excitement. Like I said, I'm extra. It fit hand in hand. I actually enjoyed it, and then it really started molding me without me even realizing to being a better person that I want to be, because that's where I really got to learn how to give back and help out. And I liked it. Like it was a good feeling other than just drugs and everything. I got to connect with the fans. I got to do some work with some special needs people. Like I got to meet people that didn't know me, but actually wound up caring about me. And it became like a family over there. And a lot of these people, man, wound up supporting me through my donut career, through my ups and downs with drugs. Like some of these people I don't even know. Some of these people I haven't never even met in my life, like from out of states and stuff. Like it just grew. But it all started with just wanting to be, I guess, a part of the show. I wanted to try to do. I really enjoyed the games. I knew it was struggling. I wanted to see what I can do, and I had two buddies with me, man. Like one of them still live around here. I don't know where the other one went, but we just wanted to do our part to try to help salvage the team. Like we was going through a time there where we didn't have real skilled players. We was losing a lot, so we tried to make it. We tried to make it fun for the fans too.
On the deaf, you like
Love. Oh, dude, if I'd have had him when the voodoo was hit, Jason be on that field every game. I already know. Them voodoo dolls would take him out there every game.
Shout out to Bob. He says, I'm beyond thankful. I know this dude and to see his journey.
Thank you, Bob. Bobby's been my boy for years, man. He's definitely. When I met Bobby was a pastor. Like Bobby seen me go through the dirt and back. Like I said, the testimony will always be is going through the fire without smelling like smoke.
Glory, man. That's profound right there, brother.
That's how it happens. But I definitely, again, sorry for the 2-week layover.
You ain't sorry. Yeah, you sorry.
Hey,
you sorry.
Shit's happened because I'm going in July.
Kicking up beach balls and getting sand up on.
We going again in July for his birthday. He wants to go back to the beach. I'm like, let's do it. Yeah. Tell Uncle Leroy bye-bye. Bye-bye. But hey, thank y'all for tuning in, man. I hope y'all had a good time and we was talking some voodoo. And we're going to be back next week. Make sure y'all tune in what the topic's going to be. We don't ever know. We just throw one out there and we roll with it. But it's always going to be good fun. Y'all make sure to take care of yourselves. Like I said, mental health is real out there. Keep yourself always. There's somebody to talk to. And tune in next week with us, man. Pope Clowncast every Sunday at 8 p.m. Tell them bye, Jason. We out.
Bye.
Nah. Give me some popcorn. Oh, thank you.